I'm Brenda, and this is Backyard Dharma. We want to make sustainable, ethical choices to love and care for the earth accessible. My partner Brad and I will share our journey toward a sustainable lifestyle in the context of a regular yard in a regular community and in the context of our Buddhist practice. We are not homesteaders, we're not off the grid, and we're not young with boundless energy. We have a long way to go. We're on a journey toward harmony with the earth, and we hope that you are too. We'll try to share our issues and the places where we get stuck, along with what is working. We ask for your grace. We have a plentiful supply of grace for you as well. Namaste. We hope you will get to know us in a deeper way as you come along on our journey toward harmony with the earth and all beings. But we thought we would take this first episode to introduce ourselves, our companion animals, and of course our backyard. I feel like I've been working on living sustainably for most of my adult life, and at the same time I am in awe of the knowledge, science, community work, spiritual work, and environmental activism that has taken place in my lifetime and continues to take place. I always feel like I'm catching up, finding one more area of my life that needs to be changed, revised, tweaked. Looking at the culture in which I grew up in the 60s and 70s, yes, I'm that old, when we took all of the modern conveniences for granted, I try to give myself grace when I run face first into my feelings of entitlement for things to be easy, for things to be fast. I'm learning that slow can be beautiful, and I now do many slow things on purpose, like I dry my clothes on the line whenever possible, and I love looking out the window and seeing them dancing in the sun and breeze. For income, I write foundation and government grants for nonprofit organizations as an independent contractor. I work from home, yay, telecommuting. I love feeling like I'm helping nonprofits to do their good social justice, environmental, educational, artistic, health, and mental health work. I have been a musician my whole life. I sing and I play the viola and mess around on other stringed instruments like mandolin, ukulele, and guitar. Using this gift is an important part of my spiritual practice and has become inextricably linked with resilient community for me. My women's singing group in particular is also my covenant circle. We've been making music together for almost a decade and have evolved to prioritize relationship over perfection and to prioritize trust over time. We have no formal leader, and we are all leaders, contributing our best talents and selves to the group. In addition to music, we share other art, food, fermentation experiments, garden veggies, and more. I guess the other big thing about me is that I'm an aspirant to the Order of Interbeing, or OI. OI was founded by Thich Nhat Hanh in the 1960s and is a path to ordination in this Buddhist tradition. Walking this path and applying these teachings to living in harmony with people, other beings, and Mother Earth is very powerful for me. I love this study and plan to share some of where it is taking me. I will let Brad introduce himself, but let me just say that he is my love and my ground. He pushes me, supports me, and lends his mind and body to actualize things that are important to me. Our children, Ren, Lucas, and Joshua, are grown and off living life, getting educated, getting married, having kids, and doing their own good work. We are ridiculously proud of them, and I have no doubt that you will hear more about them.
Brad here. I followed a more circuitous path to where I am today. I too was raised in the 60s and 70s. I come from a conservative family that was filled with both privilege and challenges. I was the environmental club chair in high school, primarily because I got access to Playboy magazines that people threw out. But there was something in my heart concerning understanding the environment and the world I lived in. My undergraduate degree is in geology, while my master's degree is in counseling and human development. And it's this interface between earth science and human understanding that defines much of me. I'm fascinated by this boundary. Where does the world begin? And where do I end? Or is it, where does the world end? And where do I begin? I've spent most of my professional career working in the mental health arena, but I've always been drawn to nature and how it heals me and heals others. I love watching water flow, and as a child, I would watch the water run down along the side of the street as people would water their lawns. I have raised fish much of my life, and have often imagined what it would be like to swim with the fish, breathing the oxygen out of the water and feeling the connection between the water and my body. In fact, I built a 1,400-gallon koi pond in our backyard, and often when I watch the koi, I reconnect to this feeling of interconnectedness. I frequently have a reoccurring dream of swimming underwater and being able to breathe without the need for air. In addition to this, we use the fish waste to fertilize our gardens and trees. We had dogs for a time when I was a child, but I rarely connected with them. I think they were quite upset about being in our crazy household. But it wasn't until I married Brenda, and she surprisingly welcomed a stray puppy into our family, that I finally felt a deep connection to dogs. We've had many dogs in our family, and at one time we had 4 dogs in our family at the same time. I can say once I opened my heart to our dogs, my life changed. Their unconditional love, living in the moment, immediate and tangible joy, and unfailable curiosity have been great teachers to me. I frequently feel their emotions as much as they feel mine. I was ordained in the Order of Interbeing by Thich Nhat Hanh in 2011 with the Dharma name of True Ocean of Actions. While not required at the time of ordination, I took the vow to become vegan, a very big step for a lifelong carnivore and a lover of all foods Italian. I can truly say that my veganism has also changed my worldview and extended my physical health. I take great pleasure in building Sangha and have had the honor of mentoring 3 students preparing for their ordination. One day a couple years ago, Brenda pulled me grudgingly to a tour of a permaculture farm. As mentioned, I love animals and I love water, but I did not feel the same connection to plants. But that simple act of seeing how permaculture can build soil and heal the planet changed me again. With Brenda as the architect and me as the engineer and mule, we have transformed our front and backyards into a beautiful permaculture oasis in our suburban community. I can now say that my connection to plants and to the soil is equal to my connection to humans and animals. Looking at what 18 months of lasagna mulching with cardboard, straw, and wood chips has done, I'm still amazed. I'm amazed at our bananas healthily reaching 12 feet into the sky. I enjoy the sweet fruit of our tropical fruit trees. I listen with great joy to the scurrying of tiny lizards, the buzzing of bees, and the beautiful calls of jays, hawks, and hummingbirds. Walk with us as we learn together and build the Backyard Dharma Sangha.
We have lived in our house for almost 30 years, and during that time we have planted trees, grown a few vegetables, removed pine trees, had trees fall down, and had overwhelming weeds that had to be cut back every couple of weeks. We even had a small patch of grass for a while when the kids were young, but it was never like the grass of our Midwestern childhoods. Our yard is typical Southern California, hard-packed, baked, cracked, heavy clay, almost impossible to get a shovel into during the dry season. The other problem we had that made me despair about ever being able to grow vegetables, even in boxes, was critters, mostly squirrels and gophers, that ate everything I tried to grow. So a few years ago, we toured a local permaculture garden, Finch Frolic Garden in Fallbrook, and started to learn about soil. To tackle our first problem, we embarked on a huge project of sheet mulching our backyard, the entire backyard. We didn't do the complex lasagna mulch, but we laid down cardboard and covered it with bark mulch or straw, which we still renew periodically. This has served us well to begin to keep moisture in the soil and increase biological activity. We have almost no weeds, and the water runoff from the backyard was greatly reduced last winter. We kept most of it in the ground. To tackle our second problem, the critters, we built a veggie screenhouse. It is screened on 5 sides with a roof that keeps the blazing Southern California sun from baking our plants. So this is where we grow anything that is susceptible to being eaten by the local critters. Our yard is quickly being populated by tropical and subtropical fruit trees and plants, as well as herbs and veggies. The other big part of our backyard is Brad's koi pond. He grows plants aquaponically there, and we do much of our fertilizing with pond water. So that's the big picture. We plan to go into more detail in the future, so stay tuned.
You might be wondering why Backyard Dharma includes spirituality in the conversation about the environment. Backyard Dharma is meant to support people to make individual and community level changes from right where we are, and there'll be a need for a lot of us in addition to local, national, regional, and international policy changes if we're going to stop the ongoing progression of climate disruption and create the just, sustainable, beloved community we envision. To paraphrase, we don't need a few people caring about the environment perfectly. We need millions of people caring about the environment imperfectly, the best we can. Yes, science and technology innovation and governmental action will be critical to both climate mitigation and adaptation, but true sustainable change will require nothing less than a change in our relationship with the Earth, a shift in what we value, what we think we are entitled to, our code of ethics, and where we see ourselves in the web of life. For us, our spiritual practice is integral to supporting these changes and to building a resilient community. In case you are interested in deeper practice, I plan to share regular guided meditations with you to support your spiritual practice, or simply give you a moment, if you choose, to breathe.
So that's us. Our quest is to be green in suburbia, bring back habitat for birds and other critters, grow food for ourselves, go slow, and learn life lessons about sustainability, community, and harmony in our own backyard. None of us can do this alone, and we're going to bring in lots of friends with wisdom and their own practices to share. As a practical matter, we all have to start where we are and then move forward together to create the world we want. See you in the backyard.